Daniel Giammar. He's a professor at Washington University in St. Louis. He's also the chair of the 2021 conference, AESP conference. So hopefully everyone is preparing for that. He will be highlighting some of the really how the conference will be using convergence as an overarching theme in what they do. So Dan.
Great, thank you very much, Kimberly. It's a great opportunity to get to tell you what we have planned for the conference for next summer and how we're going to try to put convergence into this. I'd like to start out by thanking the co-hosting institutions on this: Missouri University of Science and Technology, University of Missouri, and Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville. And so yes, the question, how does a large conference address convergence? I'll go through a couple ways I think we're doing that. One thing I'll just say at the very outset, we're all thinking, what is July 2021 going to look like? Our plan for this conference is to do an in-person conference. We're hopeful that we can do that next July. If we can't do an in-person conference next July, then we will do an in-person conference later when it's possible to do that, ideally in 2022, with maybe some smaller virtual events for July 2021. But as those of you who have been to the conference, the real benefit there are these interactions that we have with people. And the other thing is, I view this as a play date. We want you to come over to our house to play in July 2021 so we can talk and continue this conversation. Next slide, please. So how do we do this? First thing is assemble a strong and diverse team. And so, as I said, we have 4 universities that are putting this together. We have a strong organizing committee with representation from all of these participating groups. The other thing that we've done from the very outset of planning the conference is have a student committee, and we have a student chair, and that person's already been looking out for what are the types of things we want to have on the program that will be of interest to students. And so that's all I want to say here. Next slide. So the whole conference theme and structure are based on convergence. So we call it environmental engineering science and engineering and science at the confluence. And so as we've looked at this, we have 4 convergence areas. I'll say more about that in just a minute. And then 5 grand challenges. So we're going to use both the convergence areas and the grand challenges to help organize the overall program of talks, plenary presentations, and workshops. Next slide. So if we look at our convergence areas, we have 4 of them. Education and research. One of the things that's so special about the AESP conference is it is the education and research conference. It is both of them. And really, as environmental engineering professors, that's what we do, and that's what unites us as an overall community. So I'm really excited that Yvette Pearson from Rice University, the creator of the Engineering Change podcast, will be our opening keynote. Then there's research and action. A lot of us in our community are wanting to know, how can we have an impact? And that's so important right now in the middle of a pandemic. So we have Gary White of water.org and Amy Pruden, who many of you know at Virginia Tech, will be speaking to that. And then we have 2 other research entrepreneurship practice and research in air, water, and soil as other convergence areas. So the research, air, water, and soil, again, environmental engineers, we go to our water meetings, we go to our air meetings or solid waste meetings, but the AESP conference is the one place where all of us come together. So we're really excited about that. Next slide. We'll have convergence and workshops. This is interesting. Okay, great. And so there are a couple of things that we're going to be looking at here. Workshop proposals are due in just a few hours. But one that we're really excited about is environmental engineering and environmental health science. So we have a proposal into National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences to help support this part of the program. Whenever I write a grant, we always say, okay, whatever is happening is important to human health, and we're concerned about that. But I'm not actually interacting with environmental health science researchers the way that I would want to. And so we're going to have at least 3 workshops focused on that. How do we interact with NIEHS, the microbiome and environmental engineering, and aerosols, air quality, and human health are 3 that we think we're going to definitely have there. Next slide. So how do we promote diversity and access? So we want to invite people from the broader community. We're going to be seeking sponsorship. So one of the big things for this is that we would like to make this an accessible conference, both financially, location-wise, and the way that we're organizing it. So we're reaching out to NSF and NIEHS, as well as corporate sponsorship, And a big thing we want to do with that corporate sponsorship is to provide travel grants. We want this to be a conference that money isn't the reason you don't attend. We want people to be able to apply so that we get the broadest group at this meeting that we possibly can. And then starting in 2017, this meeting was held on a Tuesday through Thursday. So anybody who's trying to, and as we all are right now, many of us are, balance family demands with work demands, having this during normal work week is really important. So Michigan started that in 2017. We'll be continuing that. And through our conference website, we'll have easy links to family care providers. And summer in St. Louis is a great time. So if you have family who'd like to come with you to the meeting, you can attend the conference and they can do some really great things here as well. Next slide. So to finish up here, I won't sing Meet Me in St. Louis. I might do that when we actually have the conference, but I hope that you will all meet me in St. Louis next July. And of course, if we can't do it here next July, we will do it when it's possible, possibly summer 2022. So thank you very much.